morning. Good morning. Good morning. Is anybody there? Good morning. Are we live? Are we alive? Are we here? Have we got a pulse? Everybody okay? Good morning, come on in. Good to have your company. Always takes a little while for us all to get together, doesn't it? Anybody there yet? There we go. Good morning. Happy to have your company again. The sun is shining in Crowborough. And what about where you are? Where are you? Where are you and what's the weather like? That's what I want to know. Come on in. Happy Wednesday. Middle of the week already. Middle of week 6. Can you believe we've been hanging out every morning, every single morning, Monday to Friday, for 6. This is the 6th week. Golly, that's mad, isn't it? Yeah, come on in. Good morning. I hope we're enjoying it anyway. We're going to be colouring today, so I hope you've got your nuthatches, because we're going to add a few little tricks. I thought it would be really nice to do that. Come on in, we're early to the party. What's the time? It's only 4 minutes to 10. We don't start till 10 officially. Come on in, grab a seat, bring your tea, bring your coffee. Bring your tea, bring your coffee. Bring a smile. Do you know, this must be about the 6th or 7th cup of tea I've had this morning already. Morning, Annie. Come on in, Helen. Lovely to have your company. It's like familiar friends. Marvellous, absolutely marvellous. Come on in. Do you know, Wednesdays, for the last couple of years, Wednesdays have been my pottery day, haven't they? Do you remember? Or those of you that know me, I decided to learn pottery, you know, and I started attending a class every Wednesday afternoon with Eunice Locher. Absolutely fabulous studio just up the road from us. And, you know, come hell or high water, it didn't matter what was going on, I used to manage to get there, unless, of course, we were at the NEC or at an exhibition or not in the country. But I used to come on in. And then, of course, when the lockdown happened and the pandemic kicked in, Eunice had to shut her doors too. And, yeah, so Wednesdays, it's like... Oh, And I don't have a kiln and I don't have a wheel because I wasn't at that place yet. And I really enjoy going to Eunice's studio and hanging out with the ladies. There's some fabulous women there as well. So it was a real social get together. It's like what we do really. You know, every morning at 10 o'clock you get together with like-minded people, don't you? And that's what we used to do on a Wednesday. It was really, really cool. And I cannot wait to get back. Come on in. But that's fine, because now I know that there will come a point where we're allowed to go back and hang out with Eunice. I hope that she's okay. I hope that she can keep her business afloat until it's safe for us all to gather again. Come on in. And yesterday I got a message from one of my friends from pottery, and yeah, she's doodling with us. How about that, Sue? Welcome. It's really good to have your company too. So you see, parallel worlds start to overlap, don't they? And we've got people from all over the world. You come from the States, loads of you from the States, from Canada, from Germany, from Deutschland, komm rein, France. It's so lovely, really. You know, as much as this pandemic is affecting everybody all over the world, reaching out, it's really lovely that we're all like-minded people hanging out together. You know, it's a good thing. Come on in. And our doodling sessions and our colouring sessions are proving very popular, aren't they? 1 minute to 10. God, I tell you what, it's a miracle I can see anything through these glasses. It's like a film of Greece. And I don't mean John Travolta. Hang on. Golly. Ought to clean them properly, really. Come on in. Good morning. Lovely to have your company. Düsseldorf, I can see. I can just see a kind of a haze Grüß dich, komm rein. Hi Ken, nice to have your company. Ken's over in the Medway Towns. Lovely, smashing. Good to see some familiar faces. So today I thought we'd revisit what we did yesterday, you know, because I've been thinking about this whole thing, and I think it's important for everybody here to have a kind of a plan, a structure, so that I'm not just, you know, it's lovely to all hang out together, and many of you don't colour in, you just come in for the company, and then you doodle or you do your artwork later on, and that's fine too, as long as you're here and you've got a seat and you're enjoying the banter. That's what it's all about. Come on in. Morning. But I thought I need a plan, you know, I need a structure, we need discipline. This is going on and on and on, isn't it? This self-isolating and this lockdown. And I said yesterday, I don't think anytime soon that I'm going to be comfortable. I can only speak for myself. I don't think I'm going to be very comfortable going to crowded places. So I reckon we're going to be here a while yet. And it's an open door, isn't it? You can come and you can go, you can join in, you can listen. It's entirely up to you. But I think it would be good if you know a little bit further ahead what my thoughts are. And I was thinking, because I got so much good feedback yesterday from the colouring session. Good morning, come on in, grab your tea, grab a chair. We got so much good feedback from the colouring session that I thought, okay, so, you know, there's an appetite out there for colouring. There's an appetite out there for doodling. You know, there are many of you love both, and some have that preference, some are more comfortable with that, some are more comfortable with that. So I thought, right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have like 1 week, like this week, where we'll concentrate on colouring and on the postcards, you know, and we'll look at different tricks. I mean, you know, like I said yesterday, I'm no expert. There are no experts in this building, but I've got a few tricks and tips when it comes to colouring that I can show you. I could certainly keep us going for a couple of months. That's no trouble. So I thought we could do a week on with colouring and doodling and stuff like that. And no, cancel the doodling, because I think the colouring takes as long as it takes, doesn't it? So when we colour, we use artwork that's already been laid out for us or illustrated for us by Mel, okay? And then the following week, we go on our travels. So like last week, we were in Japan, weren't we? That was fabulous. And next week, you know, then we come home and we unpack our suitcases, we regroup, we settle in a little bit, do a bit of laundry, do a bit of colouring, and then next week we'll go off on our travels again. And then we'll go down, I've got somewhere really lovely, really nice. I'm excited about this one. So next week we're going on a trip somewhere across the world, because we can't travel, so let's do it in our heads and in our art. So next week we'll go somewhere really fabulous and we'll do doodling and we'll do illustrating, and then if time permitting we could even add a splash of colour, which I'm hopeful that we will. And then the following week we'll do colouring, and then the following week we'll go travelling, and the following week we'll do colouring. And I think that way, you know, okay, it's colouring week, it's travel week, you know what you're expecting, because I think one of the things that's freaking me out is not knowing what's happening with the business, what's happening with my friends, what's happening with my kids. You know, we got to know. Let's control the controllable. Are you up for that? So that's the plan. You know, that's the plan. It's 4 minutes past 10. We really need to get going. Good morning. Welcome to the SHAC. SHAC, safe, happy and creative. Stay home and craft. Come on in, come on in. My dear friend Steve is in with you today. If you've got any questions, Steve Ellen is here. He's taken an hour out of his time to keep you company and help you with any questions that you have. He can't contact me, but he can certainly contact you. So there we are. Shall we get started? And what I thought, because I was looking yesterday we did the Nuthatches. They came out smashing. I saw some of your work on Clarity Worldwide. Fabulous. I really enjoyed. Some of you didn't have the postcards. Some of you went to the big colouring books that we gave away last. That was great. last year. And some of you just doodled a nuthatch, you know. Some of you probably never seen a nuthatch. We get them in our garden. They're beautiful birds. They have the same sort of shape. It's just beautiful, like in the picture. It's a little bit of a kingfisher-esque kind of bird. There are African rollers that also, they have this beautiful shape. Fantastic. Tree creepers, they're like tree creepers as well. Okay, and how do I know, apart from seeing them in the garden, climbing up and down really fast up the tree, you can also Google, can't you? You just Google it. What's a nuthatch look like? What colours is a nuthatch? That's what, you know. The other thing is, like today, we're going to, well, let's have a look. Come on, come in and have a look at the picture. Are you ready to go? Have you got your tea? Let's have a little sip before we start. Always end up cold. And thank you for all your lovely messages yesterday. Oh, and also, happy birthday, Dad. And happy birthday, Jilly. And happy birthday, Karen. And everybody else who's got a birthday today. May the 6th, special day. I rang my dad this morning to wish him a happy birthday. He said, I've been up since 6 o'clock. I said, have you, Dad? He said, yeah, I was so excited. He's so sarcastic. Yeah, I was so excited. Stupid. Anyway, I'm going to go and see him today. I'm my mum. So let's have a look. I'm lucky they're still here, and I know it. Right, so yesterday we were looking, and we did the nuthatch, didn't we? And I showed you a trick with a white pencil and that. And today I thought we'd look at the tree. Now, when Mel drew this, you can see it's very open. It's just a trunk. It's very open. And so what I thought, can I just show you? I thought, well, why can't we make a silver birch out of it? You know, there's nothing that tells me that this has to be a brown trunk, like most trunks are brown, aren't they? Browns and greys. And I thought, no, let's push the boat out and let's make a silver birch. So if we have a look, let's have a look at what you can see, right? If we have a look, you can see the main trunk here, right? That's, could be anything, couldn't it? Eh? But then if we go like that, really does look like a silver birch. Not finished yet, but you get the picture, don't you? You get the idea. And you can see how you get in depth now because you're going behind the bird. So I thought today would be a really good opportunity to have a look at this artwork. How do you feel about that? Very doable, very simple. It is very easy, actually. And the thing is, it's a lot more interesting, isn't it, than a big brown expanse, I think. So I wanted to show you how I do this, yeah? I don't know, I figured it out. But the first thing I did was I took my phone and I Googled silver birch. And then I had a photograph of a silver birch. I know they're white, and I know, but then are they white? You know, if they were white, they'd be the same colour as that. So I thought, let's have a look. So, are you cool with that? Right, that's what we're doing. What are we going to use? Well, I'm going to use my pergoliners. I've got a mix of pencils going on here. You can use any colouring pencils. Right, so I've got a mix of colouring pencils here that I'm going to use. I'm going to use the bee pens, the pergoliner bee pens. Let me stick them over. Got a bit of a congestion going on. I'll pop them there. And then I've got my polychromos, my Rolls Royces. Here we go. These are lovely. So these are going to be, see, straight away. Look, isn't it weird? You've got all that fabulous colour. And the one I go to most is the browns and the greys. Look, you can tell by the length of the pencils which ones I go to most. Yeah. So, are you ready to rock and roll? Are we ready to do a silver birch? It's not difficult. No, it's not difficult. It's just a sequence, isn't it? And I tell you what I found easiest was to start with a pencil and to add, because when you look at a silver birch, it's got like scars, right? You see the dark bits across here. If you look at them, let's have a little look first before we dive in. You can see it's got like scars, hasn't it? Like little triangular, do you see? See, I've just put them there. They weren't there. I've put them in. So now you see it, now you don't. What we're going to do is take our HB pencil. See, I told you, didn't I? When we start doing the colouring, all those weeks of doodling and shading are really going to help. Come on in. Come on in. Is everything going okay? Or have we lost a signal? Have we lost a signal? Because it looks like, or before we start, let me just check. Let me just check if somebody needs to see. Can somebody send me a text just to say we're okay? Maybe Steve, you're out there. Could somebody just send me a text, because my screen's gone black again. And it always makes me a little bit anxious when the screen goes black, because I know that it's frustrating for everybody, isn't it? So you can hear me okay, I can see that, but I just need to know, can somebody send me a text? Just send me a text and say that everything's fine. Can you? That would be lovely. I'm going to crack on. And what we're going to do, you see, is we're going to, just somebody send me a text, please. Right, what we're going to do is look at the postcard, look at the artwork, and decide, right, we're going to figure out where the trunk is first, so this large one. And what I'm going to do is, first of all, before I do anything, I'm going to go through really lightly with my pencil. Let's go in tighter, shall we? Let's see if we go in tighter, and then perhaps you can see it. Good, everybody's telling me that it's fine. Thank you. It's just, it helps to know, doesn't it? Now, I tell you what I'll do. Let me just go in tighter on the overhead, because, now I'm up on a chair now. Oh, Barbara, you nut. Let's just put that one on so I can see what I'm doing. Right, look. Yoo-hoo. Right, let me just come in tighter so you can see. That's better, isn't it? Cool, that is tight. No, I've got no wiggle room. Right, that'll do. Okay. Right, now you can see exactly what I'm doing, otherwise you can't see. So I'm making these scars, if you like, you see? Now what I'm doing, if you look at the angle, I'm not coming across and I'm not going down. I'm pretending I'm standing at the bottom of the tree and I'm looking up. So if I'm standing at the bottom and I'm looking up, then the lines, if you think about it, they're not going to be straight across. They're going to be, you know, like, there is a method in my madness. Do you remember when we did that doodle on Monday and we made a wave in the flag? Same sort of thing. It's the idea is, if that's your trunk, right, that's not what you want to do, that's not what you want to do, that's what you want to do. It's like you're going like that. So you're bringing in, you're creating the illusion of this shape. So it looks like you're looking up, you see? So if you look at this one that I've already done, you'll see they're all pointing upwards a little bit. See up here, I haven't coloured it in yet. So if I just darken that a bit, you can see it. I think you get it, don't you? Let's have a look, see if this is a bit better. There, if you look up there, you see how they're going that way, the arch. Once you get it down, once you figure it out, you can whistle through this. Okay, so we're using our HB pencil, right? And even if you haven't got any colouring pencils, here's the thing about a Silver Birch as well. Even if you haven't got a single colouring pencil in your stash, right? If you've got a pencil like this, you can colour a Silver Birch, right? So I'm looking where the trunk is coming. It's down here under him, right? So come down a little bit, keep going, and make the roundness. There you go. You see? So I'm looking. That's like so, and then this branch here, now here for example, I'll go like that, and again I'm looking from above, so I'm creating the illusion, and some of them come down that way. So thing about doing it like this is, what you're also doing is you're highlighting the branches, because at the moment we're just looking at a white expanse, aren't we? So by putting these little pencil marks in as well, see, we've got this one along here, So let's do that as well. Now, again, decide on your angle. See, I'm coming in like this. So I'm getting the illusion of round trunk by creating a, see? So this one here, for example, I'm going to come down and we can make loads of, let me think for a minute. Yeah. So it's up to you whether you want it going that way or that way. There's a big blotch there, right? So I'm going that way. Some of them go all the way round, just black lines. We can add them afterwards. What we're trying to do here is establish what's a trunk and what's not. See here, I haven't finished it yet. I ran out of time. But you see this one going through here? Do you see it? So I've already started on this one. But I wanted to complete one so you could see the whole, it's the aspect, it's the which angle are you looking. You see what I'm getting at? Right. So if you took a photograph, it would that's what it would look like, wouldn't it? Right, so we've got that done, and then we can decide. Let's leave, there's more here, isn't there? There's another one here, for example. So which way are we going? I'm going to make a really big gash in the tree there, but I'm going to come round like so. And the other thing is, of course, it's all pencil work, isn't it? So, you know, we've got that. That's what I like about the fact that it's pencil, is that we can change it if we don't like it, can't we? Are we cool with this? Everybody happy? Let's have a look. And then that one we'll sort out afterwards. We don't even have to go down there. Let's just get this lovely trunk done here. Once you get the theory, you'll understand. So, sequence. I used my HB pencil to get my scars, if you like. I've got my scars in the tree now, haven't I? Yeah? And then I'm going to go to my... Hang on a minute. I'm going to go to my... well, first of all, I'm going to go to my cup of tea and let you catch up. Have you got all your scars in your silver birch? Ah, best drink of the day. I like a nice cup of tea in the morning. I like a nice cup of tea with my tea. Right, so now what we need is white. So you've got a pergolina, you've got a B1, you've got polychromos. White. These are the waxy ones. Do you remember what we did yesterday when we were doing the nuthatch? Do you remember how we were using a white pencil and it created a kind of a resist technique, so that when we went over it with the peach and the grey, you got that lovely texture? Right. Well, that's what we're going to do on the silver birch, because it establishes, doesn't it? So let's do that now. And what we're going to do, I'll do it with a pencil so you see what I'm actually doing with it, because you can't see it in a white pen. I'm doing this, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. That's all I'm doing. I'm going backwards and forwards up the trunk, just like that. So across here with a white pencil, like that, a little bit there, like that, but always the same kind of angle as what we did before. So I'm going to start down here, see? And you're just making like arches, and you're putting in some white. Go around like that, go around like that, up we go, mind him, come in. That's what we're going to do. We're putting in that resist. Do you see? So you've got to remember where you've put it. So I'm going to go a bit round here, a bit round there, but always in the same sort of angle. Does that make sense? Can always add a bit more after. We'll do a bit more on this one, because in a minute you won't remember that you've done it. Right, so we'll just do a little bit of white like that. Okay, did I do that up there? You know what you can do as well? Let me show you something. When you hold it to the light, you can see where you've been, okay? Because it's waxy, it's oily. So when you hold it to the light, you can see, oh, I've been up that trunk, I've been up that trunk, I haven't touched that one yet. So I haven't done this one, for example, because I haven't done this one yet. So I can see that just by, so just go around like that. Right, that'll do for now. I haven't done that bit yet either, but that's okay. One thing at a time. This is the one we're focusing on. You know, we talked about it yesterday, didn't we? See, the pergoliners work just as well. Actually, I like them. The only thing about the pergoliner is it's a little crumblier. If you press really hard like I do, what happens when I'm doing this, it crumbles a little bit more. You get what, you know. They both work beautifully, but you just got to work with what you've got. So if you can afford pergoliners, but you can't afford polychromos, that's not like you've just been relegated to the B team and your artwork's not going to be as good. You just got to work with what you got. And if they crumble a little bit, can I make a suggestion? Get a brush. Like I use one of our brushes, but you can use any brush, a stencil brush, anything. And don't use this, because don't use the side of your hand to swipe the pigment away if it crumbles when you press hard. Use a brush or blow. Trouble is with when you blow, I don't know about you, but I tend to spray or spit at my artwork, which is never that great. So brushes work, don't they? Right, so we've got a bit of whiteness. Now, what we need now is a light grey. So, or you can use, like my favourite, polychromo, right? It's a warm grey, but you can use a light brown. If you've got the pergoliners, go for a light brown, like B12, that would be nice, or one of the lighter colours. You're all using different colours. What you want is a light colour. And now what we're going to do is, this is the game. You start from there, and you're going to do light circular motions up the side. You watch. And as you do this, what you'll see is, you'll see the white where you've put the resist in. It's really cool, right? So you do light circular motions like this. See how it's already getting, I don't know if yours is working, but it's really cool because it just slowly up the side of the branch, right? Trunk, sorry. And what we're doing here, you see, we're establishing the tree, aren't we? Because there's so much going on when you do this. It's a good thing just to take a light neutral colour, and at least you know then which is a branch, which is the sky, which is a trunk. Do you see? So that's going over there, that's in there, just a little bit like this. And the best thing about this is, of course, that if you go in too heavy, then all you've got to do is take your eraser, your rubber, and rub it out again. There you go. But you'll see how cool that resist technique with the white pencil that we did yesterday. You see that? Let's have a look. See if you've got what I've got. I don't know. Let me go in real tight and see if you can see it. Let it focus. Can you see the white marks now that are coming through? Yeah? Neat. Right, let's have a look. So we've done that. I'm just going to stick with one trunk because I'd rather get one piece done beautifully, and then of course you can carry on later, can't you? So we've done that colour now. Right, and you can build up your depth. Okay, so let me just have a think for a minute. Let you catch up. So we're not going to race this. See, if you like, you can always go in and you can add a little bit more whiteness. I'll tell you when you start to see it is when you add the greys and the browns. So you've got your pencil marks, haven't you? Am I going too fast? Are you going to catch up with me? See? Catch up with me so that you don't, this is supposed to be an enjoyable experience, people. We're supposed to be having fun, learning a little bit along the way, hanging out. There you go, drawing a silver birch. I like silver birches, don't you? I remember we went, with my mum and dad, we went over, I don't know where it was, we went to see this Chinese dance routine, and we went past the McLaren headquarters, which must be somewhere near Hampton Court, that area. And McLaren headquarters, it's just a wall of silver birches. And when we came out of the concert in the evening, it was just this whiteness. Oh, it was spectacular. Uplighting, McLaren, very nice white, light, and it just hit these silver birch. Oh, it was spectacular. But they also look nice in the woods, don't they? Right, are you catching me up here? Come on then. So we've done our white, and now what we're going to do, oh, hang on a minute. There you go. What we're going to do now is take a grey. So I'm going to take my polychroma, because that's the only thing I'm disappointed. I said it yesterday with the pergoliners, but you've got a really nice black in there. So black is just grey when you don't press too hard, isn't it? So the black would work. And do you remember I said yesterday, when you sharpen, doesn't matter whether it's the polychromos or the pergoliners, sharpen slowly. I sharpened this one this morning and I used just one of these, right? Slowly. And you can get a beautiful, beautiful tip. And then what we want now, I've got a tip on that one as well, right? So now you see this bit here, this bit where we coloured in those with the HB pencils, where we did the scars. Let's call them scars. I'm sure there's a technical word for them. Let's call them scars. So you can use a grey, or you can use a brown. Brown, there's a really nice brown in the pergoliner. That's a nice brown as well. That one, that's a nice brown. What I tend to do is on the back, I'll write, like if I'm going to use this brown, so that I remember next time, I'll just write B3 on there. And then I know, like here, see B10, B16. So I know which blue and which, because when you go to carry on and you go to do the second bird, you think, well, which blue did I use? So it's always a good, it's a smart move is to do this. This one's called walnut. So I'm just going to write walnut on there, and then I know. Right, so for example, if we're going to do the scars now, for want of a better word, we're going to go in like that, really lightly, and we're just going to feather in, right? And if you go over the edge, I'm doing that deliberately because I want to break the line art, if I dare say so, right? So what I'm doing is I'm coming in and I'm coming in and I'm flicking in like so. So you go like that, and then you flick into where you made your scar, you see? So you go in like that. And just lightly, you can always add it. You can take it away as well, but just light feathery like this, right? Just go in with your brown or your grey or a bit of both. We're going to use a bit of both in a minute. You see, looks a bit strange when you do this to start with because we haven't toned it in. But you wait, when you tone it all in, it looks so authentic, right? So I'm just going to put a little bit of grey. I'm using brown actually. A little bit of brown. Just, we all right with this? Just get a little bit of brown in there. See, and that the other thing, what this does is it makes you see where the branches and trunks are. That's it. Right. We'll take a darker grey. Now, this is a, you got that now? Just do that along here. Right. You enjoying this? Look, when you look at it to start with, let's have a look at the progress so you can see. Does yours look like mine? It looks pretty strange, doesn't it? But you can see how I've come out beyond they're like gashes, aren't they? See? So you make these scars and then you can just bring them in like that. In fact, when you look, what I noticed when I was looking carefully, you also, like there's loads of gash, see here, there's loads of scars here. You can always add more, can't you? But what I also saw was that there are bigger areas. So say, for example, here, yeah, it's not just all lines on a silver birch. There are also great big areas like that. So now, for example, I can take my brown and I'll make a whole area like that. So see, that's going to be a much bigger scar, you see? And sometimes they're great big patches of brownness. See, I might put a big patch there just to really establish the depth there. Still giving that angle some attention, see? But I might put a great big brown, just establishing the scars and the markings on the tree. There you go. Okay. And is your whiteness, can you see the distress? Mine's coming out particularly well on this one, I must admit. I'm really pleased with that. Is it good? Okay. Right, so let's have a look. So now what we're going to do, let me show you this. Say this is the trunk now, right? What we're going to do is this. Instead of going like normally we go down like that, don't we? Right? Instead of doing that, what we're going to do is this. We're going to go and we're going to flick, flick, flick. So as you go down, you're just bringing up, you're going down the line, and as you're going down, you just every now and again, you give like a little flick outwards. But make sure that you're flicking, see? So what you're doing is you're feathering. See, if you look at this, you'll see the feathering. Just get up really tight, and that's how, if you go, just let it focus for a minute. Right, so now you see along here, I've been going along flick, 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 but I'm still going in that kind of, in the same round area. But instead of just shading this area, I'm going flick, 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 all the way along, all right? So let's give that a go. Go lightly, because let's make sure it looks right before you, right? So go lightly. So I'm using a dark grey, or you can use a dark brown, whatever you fancy. What am I using here? I'm using warm grey 5. Right, and I've got quite a point, so I've sharpened it. See, I want to sharpen it. Let me just gently, I want to get a good point going here. Right. See, if you haven't got a grey, do you know what works absolutely perfectly is an HB pencil. If you haven't got a grey, just sharpen your HB pencil and just go like this. Look, it's the same thing. Right, just go along and then just keep going like that. Right, just flick. And what you're doing is when you just flick up into the air like that. Okay. Right, I'm going to use this dark grey and then up I go. So up, 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 up. See? So what we're doing is we sort of nuzzle in and then we go. And then as we go up, what we're doing as well, where's my Dame Edna's? What we're also doing is we're breaking the line art so that it doesn't look like it's a printed picture. It looks like it's a painted picture. See, as we go along, I'm just, oh, a bit sharp. There we go. Just crumbled a little bit too sharp. See? So up I go. Feather, 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 like this. Look, doesn't that look cool? And then if I take the flat, right, and then I just gently go over the top of that, you watch, because the white is going to start in a minute. The white resist will begin. As you go over the top, look, see, isn't that cool? Can you see that? And I know it's a lot of work for a little piece of trunk, but it's the result. It's the when you get it, when you figure it out. Let's do this side, for example, right? So let's see if this camera's better for you. Yeah, maybe. So you go like that and then you flick. So you see how you just go in and then you just flick up like that. And you can do grey, you can do HB pencil, make the artwork come to you. If it's easier to do it like this, then do that. There you go. And every now and again, a little bit of a jolt there. That's all right. See, it's like little scars. You can come, woof, all the way around like that. See? Let's have a look. Yeah. See? See how suddenly it starts to come to life? Put a bit of grey in there. And then we're going to come along here, right? Lightly, 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 with the flat of a pencil. There you go. See? So if I do that side, let's just by comparison. If I do this, right, and I come in and I just look, circular motions all the time, gently, 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 right? Now under that beak, that's going to be darker there. because that's how you get depth. So we're just going to gently, circular motions. See, in the end, there are as many different, everybody develops their own skill set, don't they? I just figured this out by staring at a silver birch for a while, right? But I think once you get the resist technique down, now where's that blending tool? You know, we were looking at these yesterday, dry blending tools. These are so good. So you watch when this sort of smooths everything together. Once you're, just go along there and it smooths it beautifully. And you can go in again and again and again. See, just smooth that out now. Then you can go over again. But you can see the lovely, oh, it's nice, isn't it? See, it's coming together. What do you think? Is it working? Can you see that okay? See, and then behind the bird, this is, let's do a little bit behind the bird. So clearly, even though it's white, there's going to be a bit of shadow there, isn't there? We need to establish that the bird is going to be in front. So to do that, I'm going to add a little bit of depth around the back. But it doesn't mean that it has to be dark, you know, put a bit of light in there. Let's just swap out, do a bit like this. Here we go, look, a bit more depth. And then you just go along that edge there, just to define that bird a bit. If you don't like it, rub it out. What do you think? You happy with this? Whoa, what happened there? All right, another scar. Oh yeah, good one. All right, well, we're going to go with that. Work with what you got. Right, there you are. Right, okay. Now we're getting gritty. Okay, so this one, see, so that I flicked that, but now I'm bringing that one out now, going for it. Yeah, see, so suddenly there's a really dark area there that's nowhere on the postcard. We're adding it. Doesn't that look cool? See, so you become the artist now. What Mel's done is she's given you the shapes, and what you're doing now is adding your art to it. It's cool, isn't it? So, just greys, warm greys, browns, blacks, pergoliners, HB pencils, blending tool, white. You definitely want a white one. Pick your white, right? Because that's the one that creates the resist. That's the one that gave us the. Don't underestimate putting the white down first on this, because it really gives you a great texture. And perhaps you can't see it so well here, but when you actually start to do your work yourself, you'll really get it. What I'm doing here is I'm just flattening the edge so that now when I go in here, it's a softer, see? So for example here, go along here. Nice. Right. And then I turn my pencil round, and I'm going to do that flicking thing that I just did to break the edge of the tree, like that. You see this? So you just go round. And then you can use the flat of the pencil. It's interesting, isn't it? How you can change a picture completely, change an outline. There you go, it's got some really nice white bits in this bit. And then when you go over it, look, with the grey, gently, out it comes. So we're killing two birds with one stone here, because we need the shadow because the bird's in front. And that white resist worked really particularly well in that area. Look, nice. Then if you think you've overcooked it, then you take your rubber, your eraser, and you take it back again. And sometimes that's a really nice way of toning down. See, and then if you want to add a bit of brown, because when I was looking at the silver birches, there is brown and grey and cocoa kind of colours and blacks. So much going on in the Silver Birch when you check it out. See, now we've got this crease here, haven't we? But I want to create the illusion that there's right, so this bit here, right, let's have a look. So this bit here has got to be right, I know what I need to do. See, if you look at this one, you can see there's shadow here. Do you see? Because it makes it more dimensional. So what I'm going to do is add the shadow here. I'm overcooking it a bit on that side. So I might take a little bit back on that side. Do you follow what I'm doing? Right. See? So now this one, just add a bit of shadow up that way. And again, I keep going with the angle. See, it's all about the angle. This may be too pedantic for you. You may not want to be this perfectionist and this. You may not. This may not be your goal to make the Silver Birch look really authentic. But you see, for me personally, this is just so blooming relaxing. And to sit and just look and then step away and go, yeah. Yesterday I watched Penny, you're there, Penny, aren't you? And she put her Nuthatch out and she made it really dark. She felt that she'd gone too dark. And I wanted to say, no, Penny, it's yours. It's beautiful. Penny's really good, you know. There's lots of you are so good at this. And it's just getting control of the pencil, really. There you go. And then the black one, where's the black pencil? I've got a black one somewhere. There's a black one in there, and there's a black one in the pergoliners. Both very good. See, I'd be tempted. I'm sort of fast forwarding a bit here now, but like with Penny, I would say that you would lay off the black until right at the end on the trunk, because you may get a lighter effect just by pressing harder with a grey, and it might be more pleasing for you. You've got a lot more control over depth than you think. And also black, see, black can be really light if you don't press hard. It can be really black, but it can also be really light. It's all about the pressure, isn't it? Sometimes if you hold the pencil further down, so if you hold it down like that, you automatically don't press as hard. As soon as you come up the shaft like that, without pressing harder, I'm not pressing harder, but just the fact, I'm sure Archimedes had something to say about this, but as you come down, there's like that, it will get lighter and lighter, because there's less and less pressure. So if you're a bit heavy-handed when you're colouring in, then perhaps you want to hold the pencil further up like that. And what you'll find, often you see people hold it like that, don't you? Like this. And what you'll find is when you do that, you're not pressing as hard. Just have a bit of copy paper on the side and check. So if you've only got a black pencil, then you can change the depth. See? Not dissimilar to this one. And then I've got to go through here. See, and what happens is when you go through here and you single out the reeds and the leaves, which is what I would like to do tomorrow. So in a minute, when we finish doing our trunks, what I'd like to do tomorrow is come back and look at the leaves. So then we're going to look at different greens and yellows and greys and turn just different leaves. I started a little bit here, but that will be really interesting, because you can take a leaf like that, for example, and I could put some fantastic detail into that, but we'll draw it in, we'll doodle it in, if you like, before we even add colour. that's, see what we did here, we did a bit of doodling, didn't we? We did a little bit of drawing before we even added the colour. I'll let you catch up with me. You know what I was going to say as well, because when I got Sue Fox's message, my friend from Pottery, I thought, yeah, Sue, so good to hear from you, because she's a really like talent, you know, like one of those super talents in ceramics, gallery work, just beautiful gallery work. And I thought I wanted to show you her work because it's so gorgeous. And I want to show you as well, because yesterday we were talking about, you know, we think we're not good enough, and you know, where did we get that from? This deep-seated fear that we're inadequate, and we compare our work with other people's and we say, oh, we're rubbish, I'll never be as good as that. And I remember when the first time I met Sue, it was, I've got to show you where I started in pottery, because I thought, right, this is interesting. So this, right, was the very first thing that Eunice got me to make. Look, it's a pinch pot. I'm not going to call it pathetic, because I was as proud as punch of me pinch pot. Proud as punch of me pinch pot. Look. And I use it because we put pepper in it. Look. So I put peppercorns in it. Look. Oh. Look, I was chuffed to bits. Look, I even put my initials in it. Let's have a look. Get my glasses on. Do you know I cannot see without my glasses on? But I know it will say BG. I got the G round the wrong way. I just realised. Look, BG, I couldn't even get the stamps in right. Look, Baguga. Lovely though, look. I was so chuffed with my glaze, right? Little things, please, little minds. Oh, hello. What I found was, I just wanted to show you that. What I found, oh, now I've got pepper everywhere. Right? When I started learning pottery, when I went the first time, there were loads of experts. Experts. Eunice and Suzanne, they're the experts. And then there were some people that were just really good because they've been doing it for a long time. But what I found was that I went at it with like a blank canvas. It was a real exciting, for me, pottery was really exciting because I had no knowledge. I had never done any pottery. I'd made an ashtray in the third year at Fort Pitt. Do you know what I mean? We crushed up a bit of glass, and everybody made ashtrays in those days, didn't they? And I made an ashtray for my mum and dad. They don't smoke now, but they did then. And I made it. So that was some experience of my pottery, yeah. And so when I went there and I was surrounded by all these clever women, I thought, ooh. But I persevered. So, and I made my little pinch pot. And then I met Sue, we went to Raku, and I soaked it up. Every time there was an extra course, Raku is where it's like a firing thing where you put it in an open flame and it all cracks and some pieces smash up and that. And so Sue was there, right? I've shown you her work. I'm not going to cry again, but look at that. It's amazing. Look. Isn't that just beautiful? It's spectacular. Look, it's Sue Fox. This is her artwork. It's insanely good, right? Insanely good. And so she made this and it went in the fire. And before it had even come out, I said, please, can I buy it? Please, can I buy it? I want it. I want to own it. And mine was that. Look, and it's perfect. It's also Raku. See, so I got me crackle. See, that's what happens if you mask it off. If you mask it, then it goes charred. Look, at least I got my letters. I didn't use a stamp. I used an embossing needle and I scratched it in. So at least I didn't write it back to front. Right? But you can see here. That was my level of Raku. Right? So my point is that it's not to be intimidated by talented people. It's to be excited. There you go. And I've got pepper all over me work. So you can see here how you can, just by playing with a few pencils, you can create from a piece of white paper, you know. If you didn't have the postcards, you don't need the postcards. You can draw. Some of you drew nuthatches yesterday. Fantastic. You know, you make me proud. But it is the creative process. And I know that Sue, she has been making art, ceramic art, for many, many years, you know, and I'm excited by what she's capable of, because that means that I'm capable of that too. If she can do it, I can do it, you know. I haven't proved that I can't yet. I haven't proved that I can't yet, you see. And so, and it's the mindful process, isn't it? There's nothing like it, you know. And like I was saying, I don't have a kiln, and I don't have a wheel. I'm not. That would be crazy. You know, it's like a pilot. I'm sure, you know, you have to put your flying hours in, don't you? You don't go and buy an aeroplane before you got in the cockpit, any more than, you know, you would buy a wheel and a kiln at great expense before you know what you're doing with it. I think, you know, quite aside from the fact that I love going to Eunice's, I love her tribe, I love her community, and I love meeting these talented people, and you know, you share each other's ideas, and you look, and somebody will do a fantastic glaze, and then you say, "Cool, how did you get that glaze? How did you get that colour? That's amazing!" And people are so keen they love to share their knowledge, you know. They don't hide it and say, "Oh, I'm not going to tell you how." You know, that's not the way artists work, is it? You know, if that's the way they work, then it's probably, well, it's not the way I work, and it's certainly not the way the potters that I've met at Eunice's place work. They're so keen to help and show, and beautiful, you know, beautiful community. I'm so excited to get back there. So the last thing I'm going to do is go and buy a kiln. Not yet, anyway. One, I need to put a few more hours in on the wheel, and two, I enjoy it too much. I enjoy the community spirit. Yeah. I've got a lot to learn anyway. I've got a lot to learn. Mind you, I did throw this on the wheel before we went to Raku with it. Yeah. And I turned it. You know. And it's about the learning, and oh, here we go. Check these out. I brought these along to show you as well. My tiles. I love these, right? I know I digress, but there's only so much of a silver birch that you can handle. Look. So you know from our dies, this is, right? These are our dies. And I cut them out of a bit of paper, like a book, and I used them as masks, and I made tiles. And I remember the ladies at the ceramic ladies, the specialists that are potters, they didn't know what a die was. They come from a different world, you see. And they were so excited about these dies, because they said, "Well, you must have cut that out." And I thought, yeah, not a chance. I did cut it out, but it went through a machine. Isn't that cool? Look. Oh, the creative process, hey? The creative process. So there you go. We've been learning how to do a silver birch. We've done, yeah, let's have a look. Nice, eh? We've done a silver birch, and we've learnt how to get the perspective so it looks like you're looking up at it. I like that, don't you? Where's the one I've been working on? I think it's that one, isn't it? There you go. That's what we've done today. See, to my mind, it takes as long as it takes. It takes as long as it takes. Once I know the tricks, I know the sequence. So I'll just recap, just in case you're not familiar. Do you remember? we put the pencil marks in, didn't we? The scars. Then when we did that, after we'd done that, can you remember what pencil we went for after that? We went for the white one, didn't we? Because we wanted to get that resisting. So we did the white. Then after we did the white, then I started, you start with white and then you start working your way down to dark. So I went with the lightest grey I had, and then I went to the next darker grey, and then eventually I'll go to black. And I actually went in with a bit of brown as well, right? But the bottom line is, what you're doing is, you're starting with white and then you build, well, who's you? This is what I do. I figured it out. I'm sure there's, I didn't read the rule book, so I don't know the rules. I made them up as I went along, but it works for me. It's what I get at the end. It's the result, isn't it? And so what I do is I start with a lighter colour, and then I put the next darker colour, then the next darker, then the next darker, and then I build up my depth, right? And if I go too dark, then I rub it out and I go back again. And then I take my blending tool. Oh, great addition to the family, this one. And then I smooth it out and I get a lovely edge. So I'm gonna say that will do today. That will do, donkey. Right? I think we've had a really good session. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed Sue Fox's artwork. It just shows you how much creativity, and I think it's both flattering and encouraging that Sue, she's parked her speciality and she's joining us in our speciality, which is great, because at the end of the day, it's all this is about getting out of our heads and doing something that takes our minds away from all our worries and our anxieties. That's what this is all about in the SHAC. Safe, happy and creative. Do me a favour, before you leave me, like, follow and share this. And then other people, like Sue's friends, Sue, like, follow and share it. And then all your friends, they will see it. And then maybe they'll get a buzz out of what we're doing, you know? So like, follow and share. If you want to catch up and have a look, you can go back. Stuart will, it's Steve. Steve, sorry love. Steve will show you where to find all 6 weeks worth of our SHAC episodes, right from the very beginning where we did the birds on a wire, how far we've come. We went from little doodly hearts on a straight line, and now we're doing beautiful nuthatches. You know, it's cool, isn't it? It is cool. It's cool. It's the journey. And then, and so next week we're going to pack our suitcases and go somewhere really special. But this week we're going to stick with the colouring. Okay? So be safe. Enjoy. Let me just check. Is there anything I want to tell you before I say adieu? No. That's all. Yeah, we've got the plan. We know what we're doing. Week on, week off. We know that too. Oh, and you can see them all on YouTube. You can go to YouTube, can't you? And you can catch up on all the SHACs there. And I blog every day, barbaragrayblog.com. And what I'll do is I'll put a photo of, I'll put a picture of this up. Sometimes it's easier just to get a close-up shot, a photograph, a picture, than try and screen grab. I noticed that some of you said that you were doing that yesterday. So why don't I just put a photo up for you on my blog, and then it'd be easier. Okay? So have a smashing day. I'm going to finish this now, bit of downtime, and then I'm going to wait for Dave, and then we're going over to see my dad, because I made him a jelly for his birthday. He said, yeah, when you get to my age with your teeth and all that. I said, no, Dad, I just thought you'd like a jelly. I wasn't inferring anything. He's just a dry old stick, isn't he? Anyway, so that's where I'm headed this afternoon, to go and see my dad and my mum. So have a lovely Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Thanks, Steve, for helping us here. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your colouring, enjoy your doodling. Be safe, be creative, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye now.